Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second session of the Oblivion Oath. We just, last week we had a great first session. I want to thank all of you for watching, both here on Twitch and on YouTube. That's really been great. We've been thrilled by the response. Before we get going with today's stream, I have a couple announcements to make. First of all, I want to thank Dogmite. Many of you asked between the first session and this one where this awesome screen came from. The fine folks at Dogmite donated this screen to the game. It's one of a kind, at least right at the moment, but they do have a lot of other amazing, awesome-looking screens that you can find at dogmite.com. So if you're interested in these screens or the awesome dice cases that they have that folks are now holding up into the screen, you can get all of that and more at dogmite.com. So we want to thank them. I also want to announce that we mentioned this at the end of the last stream, that we're going to be giving away the map of the Sleepy Sea Cat as soon as we're done with it. Today is when that giveaway is going to happen. So if you want to get in on getting the map of the Sleepy Sea Cat, all you need to do is between now and the end of the stream, you need to type the word Oath Map, one word, into chat. That'll get you entered to win. Our good old buddy Dan, who's behind the computer, is going to be doing that drawing towards the end of the stream. So if you're in the chat on Twitch, make sure to keep an eye out for that, and we'll be doing that. So the word there is Oath Map, one word. Oath Map. All right. Finally, I want to make sure that everyone remembers that how the GP system works. As you watch the stream and sub and give bits, you earn GP. And those GP can be spent on a variety of things. First of all, for 1,000 gold pieces, you can name an NPC. You can submit that name, and in a future stream, I'll use that NPC during the game. You can also give 1,000 gold to buy a hero point for one of our players. And I'm happy to say that Steve Geddes bought a hero point for Katina. So I'm going to go ahead and hand that to Katina. Here's your extra hero point.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. That is totally awesome. Thank you very much. Now, I would be remiss without mentioning the first person to buy a hero point, and that was Nitrace, who bought one last week before we even got started. In the rush to get things going, we missed that it even occurred until after the stream. But he did buy a hero point. But not for any of you. I'm afraid he bought it for me. So he bought me a villain point. These work just like hero points. And to denote them, I'm going to put a little marker up here. Here's a little zombie. This is my villain point. We're going to keep that off on the side of the screen there so everybody can see how many I have. No stealing. I can... No. Mine.
Qundle's on it.
Mine for uses of evil. Evil only. All right. So remember, any one of us can hold up to 3 hero/villain points at a time. So feel free to use them whenever you're in trouble or whenever I need to cause trouble. That's when I'll be using them. All right. I think that does it for all of our announcements. Let's get this story started. So, when we last left our intrepid band of adventurers, 4 strangers, or at least mostly strangers, 2 of them knew each other, boarded a boat, a barge, in the port city of Loomes, heading for Green Gold. They boarded the Sleepy Sea Cat, captained by Heliana Ironeye and first mate Pembroke Crimp. The 4 of them boarded the packed barge and were assigned a communal sleeping area underneath one of the tarps towards the front of the boat. And it was there that the 4 of them got to know each other, at least as much as strangers get to know one another on a boat while making a journey. Soon after, the boat pulled away from the docks and began its long journey. As this journey progressed, you met a number of the people on board. First of them, you met a knight who you later learned his name was Sir Terald. Sir Terald was wandering around the boat looking for his squire. I believe later on you chatted with him and noted that he was wearing, he's a knight of Lastwall, but his badge, which is usually covered with, it's usually a white symbol with black shields, has this black key icon right in the middle of it. You found that odd and went and talked to him about it. But he didn't seem to have much to say and actually eyed you with a lot of suspicion. You also got a chance to meet the Hastings family, a father and his 2 kids causing mischief and mayhem on the boat, running around, stealing things, drawing with chalk. You got to meet them. You also noticed an odd elf transporting 6 coffins, apparently taking fallen comrades back to Green Gold. At least that's your guess. She didn't get off at Caliphase, city in Ustalov where the boat made a stop, but she continued on the way with you. And I think that's about it. You also noticed a bard that you didn't really get a chance to talk to, who only played an odd, mournful dirge. So you met a cast of characters, and as the boat made its way around the northern reach of Lake Incarthan, it eventually turned south and began making its long trek past Razmaran. Heliana refuses to stop in that country, making your way towards Greengold. It was then 2 nights after you left Caliphase behind and were heading south that you woke up, although, if I recall correctly, Carina was actually awake.
Yeah, kind of.
When you first heard cries and shouts and smelled smoke. Getting up, you quickly realized that the boat was under attack. And shambling out of the smoke, you saw the walking dead. Flesh sloughing off elven corpses as they shambled around the boat, swiping at anyone who dared to grow near. Drawing your weapons and getting yourself ready, you charged into the fray, attacking zombie after zombie as they came at you from all angles. The rest of the people on the boat panicked and running towards the front of the boat, almost to the point where the boat started to have a bit of a tip towards the front. Not enough that you're worried about it sinking, but you could literally feel the shift as all the people fled to one side. Meanwhile, on the back of the boat, fire raging out of control. You could see Heliana swinging a lit torch, at some sort of figure fighting up in the back. And you could also see the outline of Sir Terald swinging his sword at the creature as well, whatever it was. The two of them are doing battle with it on the back castle. And it was there, at the very end, after you defeated a number of the zombies, that something else slithered out of one of the coffins, crawling out, its flesh pulled taut across its skin to the point where its joints were, the flesh was split, hairless, long elven ears hanging out, a tongue lolling out of its mouth, and as it crawled out of the coffin, looking at all of you, it just shouted, "Fresh meat!" And that is where we're going to pick up. So, if I recall correctly, that happened right at the end of a round. I'm going to go ahead and roll initiative for the newcomer and put them into order when their turn arrives. This is the zombie. We're going to keep the initiative order that we had from the previous session. All right, let me go ahead and roll initiative there. All right, that's pretty good.
Well, that's not good for us.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You guys are going to love it.
This is all great.
It's what could possibly go wrong.
I'm aghast.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. All right, so we're at the top of the order, and I believe, Zell, you were crushing it on initiative. Let's take a look at the map here. We have one zombie on the map, and then we've got Zell and... who is that behind Zell? That's Qundle on the opposite side.
And it's grabbed Qundle's head.
That's right. I have a hold of you. So, Zell, you are the first to act. This zombie does not look like it has been hurt.
I do recall that Carina had ordered me to go help the captain, right?
Yeah.
She was yelling to go put out the fire because that seems like a problem.
Oh, much better at stabbing. I'll just...
Yeah, I think that was before we had seen the snake thing, so they're out.
Yeah, so I'll, he'll point at that and point up. He's like, "Which one?"
Either one.
Priorities.
You pick.
Okay.
So just so my colorful turn of phrase doesn't confuse anybody, it doesn't look like a snake. It slithered out of the coffin because the coffin was on the bottom, and it kind of crawled out.
I mean, that kind of makes the word slither better. That it's not a
no,
snake.
it's fine.
He's going to try to handle this zombie first, though, because it's close to his best friend, Mikah, and he just does not like that.
Aww,
so
Scary.
he's just going to slash first, or poke first with his rapier.
Poke first, ask
Give it a
questions
rapier.
later.
Whoa. 26?
26 is a ridiculous crit. Your rapier, it is a rapier, right?
Yes.
Yeah, your rapier just goes right into the back of this thing's head as it's holding Qundle and trying to pull him close.
Oh, God.
So you see it pulling him close, and I'm going to wager this rapier is about to come out one eye hole. So go ahead and roll me damage once.
All right, so not the deadly yet, though, right?
Not the deadly, but roll once first.
So 9?
And that includes the sneak attack die?
No. With sneak attack is 14.
14,
Ooh.
doubled to 28, plus the deadly die. Here's a lesson for you kids at home. Don't get critted by a rogue sneak attacking with a rapier. It's really bad for you. All right, add the sneak attack damage.
Oh, right, and sneak attack.
Sorry, not
damage.
sneak attack. The deadly.
Deadly. Oh, okay. Sorry, that was the deadly with
Oh,
the
you.
D8. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So, all right. So, 28 points of damage. I think I might have messed up the math there, but I don't really think it matters.
I think, yeah.
So, because you've overkilled it by so much, it doesn't really matter. So, as this zombie is pulling you close, this rapier just pokes out of one eye, and it blasts you with, like, black ichor, and, like, bit of the eyeball hit you.
gosh.
They have swords for eyes. They have swords for eyes.
And it just goes, like, limp. It's still, like, holding you, but its grip relaxes, and it just smears down your cloak with kind of black ichor. And it falls to the ground, lifeless. I'll go
Your
ahead and
poor
take that.
cloak is getting wrecked.
Yeah.
It already got a bite taken out.
My
Yeah.
cloak
right?
didn't look good to begin with. Yes, it already had a bite taken.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So that's
Well,
one
that
action.
was one action.
Like, how dramatic. And, second action to move over him and take a slash with my short sword at him.
All right.
Can't use my special on this guy. 19?
19. A 19 is going to hit, but it is not a critical hit.
Oh man.
Can't win them all. 9 damage?
9
Slashing.
damage.
Let's try slashing. Slashing seems okay.
All right. Your rapier slices through his, like, dry, desiccated flesh, like exposing bone underneath, and he just looks at you, his tongue, like, lolling out. And I believe that was all 3 of your actions.
Yes.
Qundle.
Qundle takes one action to have the heebie-jeebies, freak out, do a dance, and get some ichor off his face.
That's fair.
One action.
Yeah. It's a good use of an action. It's just to wipe the gore off your face.
Too sticky, too sticky, too sticky and dead. Sticky and dead is bad. Don't like it. I will run up to there and cower behind the balustrade of the stairs there.
That's fair. Yeah.
Be as small as possible.
Yeah.
And hoping that somehow the gold does not notice I'm doing it, I'm going to use my last action to fire. Actually, I don't think I can. It's 2 actions.
Yeah, probably. You could always.
I will throw my dagger at it.
All right. You let fly with your dagger.
I drew it last game session, so
You did.
I will hit a 17.
Armor class of 17 is actually going to hit. Your dagger manages to connect. Go ahead and give me some damage.
All right. Goes whizzing past Zell and lands for 1 point of damage.
All right.
Qundle will then look at his unarmed hand in horror and realize he's thrown away the only weapon he had prepared.
You'll have to make
All
a
right.
pickle knife.
So, at that moment, the zombie would go, but there aren't any on the board. That's unfortunate. So, shambling up out of the smoke, you see Qundle. Or sorry, not Qundle. Pembroke.
Yes.
I'm getting all that. Yeah, you see a copy of you. It's great. No,
Oh,
you
geez.
see Pembroke shambling up out of the dark, and as he gets close, you notice his throat's just been completely torn out, and his eyes look entirely vacant. Can somebody put him over between the crates over near Carina?
No, I thought we got
Close to you.
Over
Yeah.
here.
There you go, right there.
Okay.
He spends 1 action to get up to that point, and he spends his 2nd action to close to you, so he's now adjacent to you.
Oh, I liked him.
Yeah, he looks not well.
So did the zombies. They loved him. He was delicious.
Apparently.
Yeah, no, he
yeah.
was really good. Yeah, it looks like he might have been one of their first victims. His throat has just been entirely ripped out. It's gone. Like, you can see his spine from
But
the front.
is he okay?
You're pretty sure he's not okay.
You didn't study anatomy in school,
I
did you?
don't.
No.
Humans are different.
Can I
They're,
hear?
you know.
Well, yeah, sure.
Oh.
The thing that slithered out of the coffin. Zell, it looks at you with rage and fury.
This might have been a mistake.
Licking its lips, it lashes out at you, attempting to bite you.
No.
Oh no.
Just tell it no.
Armor class 26.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm 17, so.
Oh, 1 shy of a crit.
Not a crit. Yes.
All right. The ghoul bites you.
Uh-oh.
Take 7 points of damage.
My
Ow.
friend.
I ain't looking so good.
as its teeth sinks into you and its tongue, you can feel it like licking your flesh as it pulls away a big bite of you. I need you to make me not 1, but 2 fortitude saves.
Ooh, okay. That's not my strong point. First one's an 11,
Okay.
and next one is a 24.
Ooh.
24. All right. So,
Even out.
the bite lands on you, and you can feel your muscles beginning to go rigid,
No.
but you manage to shake it off. Like, for a moment there, you were losing all sensation in the arm where you were bit, and it was spreading very quickly up and down your body, but you managed to shake it off.
It's licking me.
You're just like Taylor Swift.
Lick it back.
I don't recommend licking it back.
All right.
But what do I know?
That was its first action. With its second action, it lashes out at you with a claw. But that is going to clearly miss. And then it's going to take its third action, and it's going to lash out at you with a claw again. But in this case, it's also going to miss. All right. That is the ghoul's turn. Up on the aft castle, you see the ghoul that is fighting against Iron Eye and Sir Talden. Sorry, not Talden, Terald. It's a day of mispronounced names. Sir Terald, it slashes out at him, and you see blood spray, and Sir Terald goes down. It then turns back to Heliana, and she's trying to fight it off, and it takes another swipe at her and tries to fight her, but it looks like the swipe might have connected, but she's fighting on. That's them. Mikah, it is your turn.
Well, I'm not happy about that guy trying to eat my friend. So I think I'm gonna shoot him with all the magic missiles.
All of them?
I can get up to 3.
Yeah, you have to spend all 3 actions to do it, which
so
means you can't move.
I can't move, but...
Or do anything else, but 3 missiles is more better
But my
than 2
friend!
missiles. Yeah.
He's biting my friend, and that's not cool.
She
so
both gets to do a lot of damage and not get closer to it. This looks win-win to me.
Seems like, yeah.
I'm trying to find a downside here, and I'm just not seeing it. All right, go ahead. All 3 missiles are going to strike it without needing a roll to hit. So go ahead and roll 3d4 plus 3.
Okay. So, let's see. Get the little caltrops dies.
Yeah, Magic Missile is one of those spells that gets so much better as you go up in level 2, because you can prepare it in higher level slots, and every 2, so it's a first level spell, a third level spell, a fifth level spell, and it adds another missile per action. So as a third level spell, you can get up to 6 missiles out of it. It's great.
Okay, so you said plus 30, so that'd be 10.
10 total. All right, your missiles swing out and strike the horrid thing that has risen up out of the coffin.
Pew, pew, pew.
All right, all 3 missiles go striking into it, hitting it. Between that and the other wounds that it has taken, it crumples.
Yay!
It falls to the deck.
Yay.
Could you actually just put it up on the aft castle there, because there is still one up there. Put it up near the wheel, if that's where it is. Yeah, there it is. All right, that one's up there. It looks hurt, but it is still up and active. All right, that was Micah's turn. Carina.
Okay.
Pembro Kremp.
Oh.
Yeah. Question real quick. So
Pokemon.
we had the 2 zombies that were over here that Carina and Mikah dispatched.
Yes.
And then we had 2 zombies that were over here that Zell and Qundle took care of. And then there's 2...
Hashtag Quell.
There's 2 ghouls.
That's if we ship you.
One down here and one up on the...
The one ghoul is already dead.
Right.
It collapsed, and then there's the one on the aft castle.
So
that's...
that takes care of all 6 coffins.
Yes.
So now we just have any extra undead that have been made recently.
Any residual undead.
Spare undead.
Nothing like doing some undead accounting.
Just wanted to make sure there's nothing else coming out of coffins. Karina's gonna just smash into Pembro with her axe. Or attempt to. That's going to be a 8+7, so 15.
15 is going to hit. It's not a critical hit, but it is a hit.
Okay, so that's going to be...
Do you do undead accounting on an abacorpse?
That's
We're trying to run a stream here.
11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. Your this is an axe, right? So it does slashing.
Dwarven war axe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So your axe goes slicing through Pembro, and it cuts him open, and not yet rotted, but still dead. bits fall off of him. It's
Okay.
horrible.
He didn't smell
but he's
good when he was
still.
alive.
Yeah, that's fair. He somehow manages
Yeah.
to smell a little worse.
Smells
So he's still standing though.
like
All right. I think I should probably just make sure that he goes down as soon as I can. So I'm going to take another hit. And that's at a -5, right?
Correct.
Okay. So it's going to be a 21.
That's with the -5.
Yes.
Oh, crushing it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's just shy of a crit, but it is going to hit. Go ahead and deal more damage.
All right. So it's going to be 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. All right. Pemro goes down like a dead first mate. Twice.
Yay.
He goes down like a twice dead first mate. All right.
Pemro the twice killed.
The zombies
I still have one
Currently.
action left.
are
Yep.
all off the board, and you do still have one action left.
Wait, don't go.
Use
let's
your
see.
action to
I
gloat.
was just pulling the marker.
All right, so she's just going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 feet up, which is her movement, and be done.
All right. So I want to note right now that the aft castle is really on fire. It looks like the fire might have started inside the aft castle, and the entire aft castle is on fire. The inside of the boat is burning. There is smoke pouring out between the timbers, so the entire aft castle is covered in a thick cloud of smoke. That smoke is starting to waft over the rest of the boat, and you've noticed that the rigging is now on fire, and the aft sail has lit.
Oh,
now, the upside to this is you can all see really well,
Hooray!
because there's a lot of light.
Yeah.
The downside
Good.
is the boat is burning very quickly.
Yeah.
In fact, back towards that aft side, it looks like the burning has gotten so much that some down near the stairs, water has started to pool. Because it looks like the back end of the boat might be breached in some way, shape, or form. So bad things are going on in the back of the boat.
So we're not putting out this fire, is what you're saying.
You don't even have a bucket right at
Yeah.
the moment.
I mean,
All right.
The good thing is that fire also affects undead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you go...
Great.
If anyone goes up onto the aft castle, it looks like you'll have to deal with smoke. But the fire right now is just like licking up through the timbers and stuff. It doesn't look like it's too... I mean, it's dangerous. I was about to underplay it. It's like, oh, it's not very dangerous. I mean, there's just fire underneath the floor. But it doesn't look like it's an active roaring blaze, is kind of what I'm getting at. Although back there are some sacks and whatnot that have started on fire. Some of those piles of crates and stuff have caught flame.
It's only mild fire.
It's a little bit of light fire. It's a new game term we have. Light fire. It's not a game term. I made that up. All right. Top of the order. Zell, it is your turn to act. Heliana Iron Eye is back there fighting against this ghoul that is back there. Sir Terald has gone down. There is smoke. There is flame. What would you like to do?
I think I'm going to help the captain out because she might know the best way to put out this fire. Can I move through my companions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to go...
Yeah, the thing you can't move through is bad guys without making a check.
He said he's trying to make himself as small as
Without
possible.
succeeding
so
in it.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
is
You can
fair.
just
I
hop
made
over
a
him.
check.
I'll leap over.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And I'll run up here and I'm like, come in. You know, just indicate to her that I'm coming up. Please don't attack me. I'm not here
All right.
as an enemy.
So is that just one
That's
move
just
for
one,
you?
That's right.
All right.
So I can keep moving.
Assume Heliana is right around the wheel there.
Okay.
I don't think I brought a mini for her,
I have an
unfortunately.
extra mini in my bag.
If you got one, just put on the,
Oh, nice.
the map where
Oh,
Heliana
there
is.
she is.
Perfect. That'll work.
I recognize her.
That's not her at all, but it'll do. All right.
And then stab it with my rapier.
Yeah, you can make one attack.
That's an 8 total.
Oh.
An 8. Yeah, you slash out wildly, but totally come up short. All right, that was Zell. Qundle, you are without dagger.
Yeah. And that is no longer at the top of my list of problems because I'm now looking at the back of the burning boat.
Yeah.
Because I don't really care whether I die by zombie bite, die by fire, or die by drowning. Those all seem bad.
Yeah.
Bad outcomes.
So I'm actually going to take a move to move over here and hop up on those boxes.
Okay.
I'm going to yell down that way and start directing people. Get buckets, get barrels, anything wet, get back here, or this boat will sink.
Yeah.
Put out the fire, bring water, put out the fire.
So As you're doing that, you're right in front of one of these tarps that is on fire. So you're backlit by this. It couldn't be more dramatic, is what I'm getting at. It also probably couldn't be more dangerous. The smoke is starting to waft up over you. And I want to make this note as well. Zell, you ended your turn up on top there. You now have the sickened 1 condition from the smoke.
Oh boy.
Basically, that's going to give you a penalty of 1 on all of your attack rolls while you're in that dense smoke. Anybody who isn't in the dense smoke, but is being exposed to smoke, is going to get a fortitude save, and I'm going to get to you in just a second. But you have the sicken 1 condition. Now, what that means is that while you have this, you take a penalty of 1 to all of your d20 rolls. You cannot get rid of it while you're still in the smoke, but once you're out of the smoke, you can get rid of it by spending actions to basically retch. You make a fortitude save to kind of clear out your throat and make yourself feel better. But until that point in time, you're going to take the penalty, and you can't drink anything. So if you had potions, you couldn't drink them while you're sickened. You can't force them down. So you're too busy coughing and sputtering. So just so you know. Now, Qundle, you're up in the smoke now because you've gotten up on a crate. So I need you to make me a fortitude save.
Can I use my Eruxy ability to hold my breath for 25 times longer to help with this?
You certainly can, but not anymore, right? If you didn't have the condition, then yeah, absolutely. You could have spent an action.
It'll
to
help
hold
me
your breath.
retch it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a total of 22, which is darn near max.
22?
Yeah.
You're like, I love smoke. It smells like a campfire that spells all of our doom.
It turns out goblins have some familiarity with setting things on fire and running around on the inside of the... so it's 1 action to get up there.
Yeah.
Can I actually use an action for a diplomacy check to try and actually get people to start?
Yeah, sure. You're in passing speech. I'll let you make a diplomacy check. Most of the crew, now that you're up here, you can see that there's a lot of people up near the front of the boat. But you've already noticed there's some people in the water. Some people jumped off the boat. And there are people in the water on both sides. It doesn't look great for them. The water's pretty choppy.
Okay. So I get a total of 20.
Yeah.
Gonna yell people to get buckets, get water, get up here, and get ropes and some of the rigging overside so the people in the water can make it back to the boat.
Sure.
I'm gonna try and give all those orders. That was an action.
Yeah.
It was an action to run over there. I have an action. I am going to...
What was your diplomacy check again?
20.
20? That's
20.
pretty good. All right.
With my last action, I want to tear free some of my poor tattered cloak,
All right.
soak it in pickle juice, and put it over my mouth to help deal with the smoke.
Yes. So
that's intense.
Yeah, that's all right. So you rip off part of your cloak, stuff it in your. Do you have a pickle jar?
I've got a pickle boda.
That's sure, yeah. And you just you wrap that around your face. That'll give you an item bonus.
Excellent.
To your saves versus this disease.
Pickle bonus.
We'll call it a pickle bonus.
Pickle bonuses, item bonuses don't stack.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
It's the same type. All right, moving on. All right, that was Qundle. All right, the ghoul up top is going to go. The first thing it's going to do is swing at Heliana. Oh, that's unfortunate. It takes a huge bite out of Heliana.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that was a lot of damage. Okay, Heliana just took 9 and she goes down.
Oh no!
So they knock her down to the floor. On the only upside to being up in this situation, Zell, is that now that you're up close, you can tell that the two of them actually hurt this thing pretty badly.
Okay.
Good.
So it looks like they already damaged it, but it is still up and fighting. With Heliana crumpled, it turns its attention to you, and it turns to you, and in the fire, you can see in its black eyes just the reflection of flames as it reaches out to hit you with a claw. A 19
That's
plus
gonna hit.
5 is 24. That's going to hit with the claw.
Zell might be going down.
I need you to take 5 points of damage.
Zell goes down.
No!
Oh.
Stop hitting my friend.
All right, Zell, you have been reduced to 0 hit points.
I am at 0.
Now, what that means is that wasn't a crit, so you just go to dying 1. Your initiative is going to move to right before the monster that knocked you down. And when it gets back to your turn, you'll get a flat check to stabilize, assuming no one's come to help you. Or possibly get worse, who knows. We'll find out what the roll is if no one gets to you in time. But that's where we're at right now. Zell has gone down. I also need you to make me a fortitude save, though.
Which is -1?
Because of the sickened condition.
18?
18. All right. Down, but not paralyzed. All right, so... Oh no. All right, yeah.
What was that for?
No, it's nothing.
I'll be free.
It's a thing that I just remembered that ghouls can do.
That sounds fine. I'm sure it's fine.
All right. It takes another. It turns from you, knocking you down with one hit. It turns its attention back to Heliana and swipes at her again, even though she's down. Yeah. As a matter of fact, it looks like it just grabbed like a gob of her flesh and is eating it. It looks like it's starting to eat her. All right.
Flavor Town.
That was the ghoul. Mikah, it is your turn.
Well, she's gonna scream. Like, Sal! I'm not gonna scream in the microphone though, because I feel like that'd be mean.
That's kind to our viewers. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna. I'm gonna probably run up there, because I'm upset. So.
Now you do still have your bond, right? You didn't use that in the last session, right?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
No.
Let's see.
How far are you moving?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'd have to do a double move. I don't even know if I can.
Running up into the smoke and fire.
Yep.
It's super fun.
It's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah, and I don't actually know if I can get next to it. Because it's kind of... Well, I can walk... Can I walk over Zell since he's
Yeah, of
down?
course you can. Yeah.
Okay. 5, 15...
Can I endanger myself? Yes, I'll allow it.
But I can't share space with Zell?
You can while he's unconscious.
Okay, so I'll just kind of be there.
Kick my body aside.
This is probably a terrible idea, but I'm upset.
Sounds like it so far, yeah.
Yeah?
I'm upset, so...
Such bravery.
I'm gonna do Chill Touch again.
All right. So that requires me to make a fortitude save?
Yeah. Can you remind me what the hero points do other than rerolls?
So here's what hero points are going to do for folks.
Yeah.
You can spend 1 hero point to reroll any d20 roll.
Okay.
Also, while you are unconscious and dying, you can spend every hero point you have on your turn to immediately be restored to awake and not gain the wounded condition. But it burns all of the hero points you have, not just one. It's every one you have left. And you have to have at least one to use that ability.
Okay, but it's not going to help me.
No, it's not going to
this
force
guy.
him to roll a reroll.
It's gonna help me.
Dang it. Okay, well. Oh, wait. I can't do Chill Touch because it's 2 actions.
Oh, that is absolutely correct. You took 2 actions to move. I forgot.
Crap.
Oh, do you have shield? That's a 1-action spell.
I do have shield.
All right,
so...
Shield
Yeah.
up.
Having run up here and exposed yourself to the ghoul.
Yeah.
Well, at least it won't be attacking Zell while he's down.
This is a great idea.
This is exactly what Mikah would do. I love it.
I realize the situation that Mikah has just put herself in, and I'm gonna see if I can go help that out. So we've got
Sorry.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Just be a big pile of corpses
10,
there.
15,
Yeah.
20. I'll do my last move, and I'm just gonna go right there.
All right, so you,
Right next to the zombie. All 3 moves.
You triple moved right up to it. All right, bring in
Yup.
the threat.
Yup.
All right, that is Carina, and we are at the end of the round. The boat continues to burn. The rigging now on fire. Some of that's starting to spread towards the second sail. You can see the rigging burning. The real problem is one end of it burned, and it was on fire and let loose and swung into the sail of the second one, which now has fire down in the corner.
Can I, as I'm moving, make a suggestion to the people trying to put out the fire and just say, like, cut loose the burning sails?
Yeah, you can shout at them to do that. Some people look like inspired by Qundle's calls. There are people in the back who the first thing they started doing was throwing over like flotsam and jetsam so that people in the water have something to grab onto.
That's a good idea.
So they're doing at least some of that.
Okay.
And there are people trying to find like buckets and stuff, but they're kind of in short supply. Somebody back there is currently emptying out a barrel so that they can use it to scoop up water, but because there aren't just like buckets all over the boat.
Yeah.
Boat safety, folks. Keep buckets. All right. So that's what's going on the boat. Top of the order, Qundle. What do you got for me?
How far is it from this box I am on to jump to the sail that just started to catch fire?
Considering the angle of it, it's about 5 feet. It's not too far. You could actually take the leap action and get there.
Okay, I take the leap action to leap onto the burning sail.
Oh, yes.
I like
that.
It's bad when the GM is
I will get an
excited.
18 on my acrobatics check.
An 18. All right, you land on the sail.
We don't have to worry about Jason killing our characters because we're doing it ourselves.
So you're on. This is one of those sails that has like a bottom rail and a top rail, and the sail is stretched between them. So you're kind of standing on the rail. You're not near the post. So the only thing you have to hold on to is like handfuls of sail.
Yes, the burning
that
sail.
is on fire.
And I have to hold it or I'm going to fall off.
Yes.
And I have to put out the fire.
Yeah.
So Qundle will look around, start to cry, and attempt to smother the fire with his undead goo-splattered body by pressing himself to the sail where it's burning so it will go out.
So I'm going to deal you some damage now. And that's going to put out some fire because of all your crying.
Okay. I'm also covered in goo.
Yeah.
You described
And
it as
goo.
wet, splattery goo.
That is fair. That is fair. I want you to take 4 points of fire damage.
I
Okay.
need more goblin tears.
And
There are now more goblin tears.
Yeah,
I promise you,
there's
4 points of fire damage means more
plenty
goblin
more.
tears.
All right, you're kind of being a bulwark against the flames, but you're also not very tall, so it is still spreading like around you. But at least this spot is kind of better.
Okay.
All right.
That's 2 actions.
Yeah, you still have 1 left.
Yeah, I do.
You have more pickle juice?
Little known fact: pickle juice, flammable. No, it's not.
I've got lots of pickle juice. No, I'm now concerned for my new friends who are fighting a ghoul because they seem to be the only people who are doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I just need to know how long the range of Forbidding Ward is, and it's 30 feet, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I will cast...
Is it 1 action?
That's what I'm double checking. Nope, it's 2. I will not cast.
Remember, most of your spells are 2
Yeah,
actions.
no, you're totally right.
Yeah.
I will get the rags off of my spear
Yeah.
in the hopes that I can cut free some of this stuff next round.
All right, great. So you reach around and start undoing those. Okay, that is Qundle. We have now gotten back to Zell. No one has been able to stabilize you, Zell. Zell, you're just gonna... I think you can actually burn I think you can do the check first if you like.
Okay, let's do the check first.
Yeah. So what this is a flat check. The DC is 10 plus your dying condition, so in this case 11. So you're looking for a roll of 11 or higher.
All right.
You definitely don't want a 1.
Do I have -1 from Sicken, though, on this, right?
No.
No, it's just straight.
It's a flat
checks
check.
don't take
right.
modifiers.
A 2.
Congratulations. It's not a 1.
Is not a 1. So
This hero point here.
you drop to dying 2. Now you can either continue to risk it, or you can burn that hero point right now and go to 0 and stabilize.
I'm gonna burn the hero point.
All right, so go ahead and hand that back to me.
Ka-ching.
Poor Zell. All right, so here's all that's going to do for you, though. You are 0 and stable, and you don't gain the wounded condition, which is perhaps one of the most important parts of that. So that is where you are at. Okay, that is Zell's turn. The ghoul goes. It turns, looks at Mikah, and swipes at you. Seeing new challengers come to it, it swipes out at you with its jaws, attempting to bite you. Armor class 20.
I have a question.
Yes.
For a reaction, do I have to have the action free from my last turn or take it off my next turn?
No, as a matter of fact, it doesn't cost you any of those at all.
Oh.
Reactions are free.
Sweet.
But you only get 1 between the start of your turn and the start of your next turn.
Well, I'm going to take a reaction then, and Mikah, you are not going to get hit.
Yay!
The ghoul is going to...
Well, it has a choice.
It has a choice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So what's the name
why
of this
don't you explain
reaction?
to me what's happening?
The reaction that I'm going to use is called Glimpse of Redemption. And the ghoul is going to pause and think about its life choices.
Unlife choices in this case.
Yeah.
And Jason, you get a choice if Mikah will take no damage or will get a resistance of 3
Yeah.
and be enfeebled.
Enfeebled 2?
2.
2. All right, so the ghoul momentarily regrets all of its unlife choices, crawling out of that coffin, knocking down Sir Talden, eating parts of Heliana, and is like, no, I'm in this to win it. So it's gonna take, you're gonna get a resistance of 3 versus at this damage, and it's gonna take the enfeebled condition. Now, you also have the shield up. Would you like to block with the shield?
Yes.
You can spend your reaction to do that. All right, so this damage is going to get reduced about 7 ways to Sunday, but I'm going to go ahead and roll it and see if any of it gets through. and rolling 5 points, it doesn't even get there. So between the resistance, the enfeeble, and the shield block, you take nothing, which means none of my add-ons trigger either, so you don't have to make any saving throws.
Thank you.
It tries to hit you, but mystical forces get in its way. The shield blocks it. It feels bad, and the attack misses.
The power of guilt.
It's guilt.
The power of guilt compels it. All right. I'm gonna have to remember that. Okay. So it now takes its second action, and it's going to swing at you with a claw.
Dang it.
Realizing that it, regretting its life choices, it's going to lash out at you with a claw, and the claw is going to be a 22, so that is going to hit. But it's only going to do 2 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
But
Can I still use the shield again?
No, the shield was once, and now it's
Okay.
gone. It kind of pops like a bubble. All right, so I hit you. Take 2 points of damage, and I need you to make a fortitude save.
Okie dokie. Where's okay.
When we turn this into an animated series, it'll be a really cool computer graphic for when your shield pops.
Yeah, no, it'll be
It'll
awesome.
be really
cool,
impressive.
yeah. 3D, please put on your glasses now. That's a 17.
17. All right.
Or is that affected by sickened?
It is, but in this case, you're still going to make it.
Sweet.
So for a moment there, you feel yourself going stiff where it hit you in the arm, but you managed to fight it off.
Yay.
With its last action, it's going to swipe out at you, but comes up way short. You are easily able to bat aside its claws. It makes its way towards your throat. That is it for its turn. Mikah.
It feels way too guilty.
It's feeling really bad. It's like,
I like the thought of a
too.
contemplative ghoul being like, I should have stayed in college.
I wish I wouldn't have eaten that captain.
Let's see. Can I do chill touch now?
You certainly can.
Huzzah! I think I shall then. Okay.
All right, I'm going to make my fortitude save. Here it comes. I'm going to probably fail. Actually, well, my fort's pretty good. 15, I think, fails for you, doesn't it?
It's against my spell DC, is that right?
No, your save DC, which should be...
Oh, my fortitude save?
No. Your spell save DC. It's going to be on your spell sheet.
Sorry.
All your spells. use
Spell
the same.
DC is 17.
17. So it's going to fail. And the effects of a
Okey-dokey.
fail are...
The effects of a fail, it's flat-footed for 1 round.
Oh boy. So it's flat-footed and enfeebled. It's doing really great. It's having a good time here on the boat. Okay, so that was 2 of your actions. What would you like to do with the third?
Oh, yeah.
You cannot cast shield again because you used it.
Right. Ooh, I don't honestly know what I can do.
Do you have a weapon out?
I don't think I've drawn one. I can draw my dagger, though. Or I think I'll draw my staff, actually.
All right, you draw your staff.
Cool.
That is Mikah. Carina.
Carina is going to take her axe and try to finish this thing off. Natural 20.
Nice.
Well, that's a pretty decent roll. All right, so this thing desperately trying to fight against you. You just take your axe and bury it in its chest.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll me damage and double it.
So it's going to be a 8, double to 16.
16. You slam your axe right into this thing's chest, and it just crumbles.
Yeah.
That's it. A spray of black blood flies across the deck as the ghoul collapses.
Okay. I still have...
Well, you still have actions,
2 actions.
but there are no more bad guys left.
Yay!
So, the way, and it happens to be the end of a round, so it all times out nice and evenly. So, we're going to drop out of initiative at this point in time, because there aren't any more bad guys.
Okay.
But the boat is on fire, and that fire is now spreading out of control. What do folks want to do? Zell, you're still unconscious, but you are stable at least. So you're not in threat of dying, but you're not awake. And it actually, either someone needs to apply healing to you, or time needs to pass. That's the only way he can regain consciousness at this point in time.
I am trying to decide if I should heal the captain or my new friend, Zell.
Well, we're still, the floor is starting to burn.
Yeah, and so
no.
if I can heal one of them and make them conscious, then maybe they can escape.
Choose.
Okay, here we go. Do I save Zell or the captain? +5 charisma, you handsome devil. I will save Zell.
He is a handsome devil, that's fair.
So
Wizard devil.
I will use my healing touch of pharasma to give you 6 hit points.
And
Oh my
this is your
goodness.
lay on hands ability, correct?
Yes,
All
lay
right.
on hands.
Thank you.
And
And that's a focus spell
yes, not that it matters. You also get +2 to your AC for 1 round.
Oh.
against the smoke.
Yes.
All right.
Hooray.
So you regain consciousness. Your eyes flitter open, and all you can see above you is a sail that's on fire, and smoke all around you. And you're able to get up.
I've been living hell.
You're over on the sail, desperately trying to put it out, but you've noticed now it's spread to the second sail fully. And the crates and barrels all throughout the boat are starting to show signs of flames, especially towards the back. The front still looks okay, but it's not.
Abandon ship! Grab flotation! The water's choppy! Abandon ship! Help the women and children!
All right, Qundle starts screaming for folks to abandon ship. What are folks doing?
I'm gonna go grab a coffin because coffins are boat-shaped.
They are very boat-shaped, in fact. And these ones happen to be empty now.
I know, yeah. No, there are vacancies.
Yeah, there are. So you go and start throwing the coffins into the water. Most of them are pretty heavily damaged by the undead coming out, but they're still better than nothing. What are other folks doing?
Is the captain alive?
You go and check Captain Heliana. She looks like she is clinging to life, but just barely.
Okay.
There's also Sir Talden right up there. Sir Terald. Getting that name wrong.
Squint at me now, huh?
Poor knight.
I don't think I can lift him, but I have a natural swim speed of 15 feet. Does that mean I could, does that make it easier
Well, you
to
can
carry
certainly
her?
help to carry people in the water.
Okay.
You can't. You're right in that you can't lift Sir Terald or Heliana for that
Right.
matter. But you can drag people. That's
Okay.
well within your wheelhouse.
Does
Carina?
does the fire look like we could still put it out, or is it pretty clear we've got to jump off this thing?
You're not. You're honestly looking at it. You're not sure this boat's going to make it. It's coming apart. As a matter of fact, part of the back corner of the aft castle just collapsed into the water.
We missed our window.
This boat is coming apart.
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
Should we get these 2 unconscious people on some floats down there?
Are we where we can take a second action at this point?
Yeah, this is really
Okay.
more freeform. We're not in combat anymore.
So,
Yeah.
once he's gotten some flotations over,
Yeah.
Qundle wants to see what's up with Zell because Zell didn't leave me until the zombie that had my big melon head was dead. So Zell is
clearly a
currently
friend.
At the very least, someone who's not kicked me to the side and called me a peck. So I want to get up there,
Never do that.
and he's up, and she's up, and she's up, but the captain and
Sir Terrell.
Cheryl Terrell down. All right, I would like.
You also see the body of the elf, clearly ripped to pieces.
Okay, well that's outside my first level ability to do anything about.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a mess.
But he will go diving into his pickle jar,
Yeah.
pull out some nice antiseptic pickles and pickle cloth and pickle juice, because I have battle medicine,
Oh.
so I can attempt to treat wounds as a single action.
All right.
With pickles?
Now, normally the DC for that is 15,
Yeah.
but they specify that if you're trying to do this under bad circumstances,
Like being on a burning boat filled with smoke and fire.
they don't make that as an example,
Oh,
but I thought I would check with you and see whether in
this
fact
counts like that.
Okay, do I get to know what the higher DC is?
No, just go ahead and roll it.
All right. I will get a 19.
All right. Heliana flitters her eyes open as you treat her. And she's like,
She'll get 10 points.
yeah, she's conscious, but she looks really badly hurt. And she sees the boat and looks around, and you see like a tear run down her streaked cheek. And she screams, "Abandon ship! Everyone off board!" And she kind of stumbles up to help and starts dragging Sir Terrell out of there.
Don't remove the pickle bandage.
She looks at the wound that has like a pickle sticking out of it, and she's like, "Okay."
Let me help Knight.
We'll get there. The situation on the aft castle is now perilous.
Yep.
Parts of the floor are collapsing. The boat, the back end of it, is now underwater. So what I mean by that is like the aft castle is still sticking out of the water, but once you go down the stairs, you're in water as you slope up towards the front, and then it dries off again. The boat is starting to sink.
Sure.
We should
Okay.
get off the aft.
What
castle.
looks like the thing that is most floatable?
Well, there's crates and barrels all over the place, and they're all made of wood, so they're all pretty
floating. They all look
floating.
like they're about equal levels of floating.
Some things are sinking right away because they're filled with our supply of nails. Well, that just went to the bottom.
Sure.
But some things are filled with like cloth and blankets and stuff, and those float because the wood is enough. Okay. Between that and bits of the boat that were burning but fell in the water and went out but are still floating, there's an entire field of flotsam and jetsam. Sweet. The only problem is the waves are pretty relentless right now, and it's not great out there. As a matter of fact, things get worse. The boat literally starts cracking down the middle. The keel gives. One of the sails topples and falls into the water, covering up some people. The waves lap up on you. Heliana's dragging Sir Terald down the stairs. The best most of you can do is just get out of the way and try and get off this thing before it goes down. Because it starts pulling things down with it.
Yeah,
just
I'm going to
from
do
the
that.
suction.
I'm going to jump overboard and try to get on one of the things that is floating.
In your armor, I think that's
this
a
is
big...
pretty much her worst nightmare.
Yeah. You are all tossed into the blackened, storm-raging waters of Lake Incarthen.
Awesome.
No.
Within moments, it's a chaotic mess. People are being swept in different directions. The rains, the waves, wind, bits of flotsam, things that are burning, bits of the boat going down. It's a catastrophe. And everything goes dark. The next thing any of you realize is kind of dim pre-dawn light and the sound of seabirds squawking overhead. You're on shore, at least you think you're on shore. Sand in your face, in your clothes, as you kind of push yourself up from the beach, your hands leaving prints in the sand. The bits of flotsam and jetsam all around you are washing up on shore. And the four of you, being all kind of close together, your memories start flooding back to you that you tried to at least stay near the people you knew. But that was almost impossible in the chaos. That said, the four of you slowly come to your senses on the shore. It's just before dawn. You manage to make it to shore. You're not sure where you are, but you know that you're at least alive. Hooray! What do you do?
I look around in the water to see if there's other bodies nearby.
Look for other survivors.
Yeah.
So, picking yourself off the shore of the beach, you kind of take a look around, and out in the water it's hard to make out anything, right? You don't see anyone out in the water in your immediate vicinity, just more flotsam and jetsam washing ashore. But taking a look around, you notice two things. One, there's a city not very far away on the shore. And two, nearby you, in the middle of some flotsam, is a form laying in the sand. It's kind of hard to make out from here, but you can go over and investigate.
Sure, I'm gonna do that with my axe out.
Sure.
'Cause,
So I should also note, like your axe, like your book that you woke up clutching, things like that you still have, but a lot of your like gear and stuff is just gone. Like your backpacks and stuff. Bye.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not getting that dagger back.
Yeah, the dagger gone.
Oh.
So taking a look around the shore, you approach this figure, and as you do, you see the body of, and I shouldn't say body because he moans, of Sir Terald. But he looks really in bad shape. Like it looks like he maybe didn't make it off the boat until the boat sank, and part of his leg is scorched and burned down to the bone.
and he got like bitten by a ghoul, right?
He got slashed.
He got slashed.
Slash.
Okay.
He looks really bad, and you see him laying there, and his cloak is gone, and his armor's just there, and it's rent in one side, and he just holds up a weak hand.
I'm not gonna touch him.
Qundle will.
Yeah.
Qundle's going to come bouncing over and hold his hand.
He looks at you in the eyes, and all of you, I'm assuming you've drawn near. He looks at you, and he's clearly dying. He's not in good shape. Part of one of his legs is just gone, and his armor's been rent. He's been terribly burned, like one side of his face. Like that big mustache of his is like half gone. And he just looks at you with just kind of suit and water-stained eyes, and you grab his hand, and he has a grip like iron. And he looks at you, and just says, "It wasn't supposed to happen this way." And then he begins to speak in a language that none of you understand. It's words that hurt when he says them. They literally burn your ears. And all of you get this weird swimming darkness swimming in front of your eyes as he says these words. And he's gripping your hand like iron, and he won't let go, and he's looking at you, and you are seeing tears streak down his face as he says these words. And as your vision goes dark, you're standing next to him, you can see on his wrist he has this black tattoo of this key. And he finishes saying the words, and all of you pass out.
I knew that was a bad idea to get close to him.
Yeah, you did. You totally did.
Just putting it out there. I was right.
In the swimming darkness, you all see this. Off in the distance, on a path paved in bone, there is some bone-white fortress lit by green, eerie flame, swirling in darkness and shadow. With a snap, you are all back to consciousness. You're standing exactly where you were. That moment has passed. And as you are standing there, Sir Terald crumbles to ash. His body literally crumbles to ash.
That's not actually normal.
Yeah.
That's not what people
I was
do.
planning on.
Qundle will
eating
look
that.
over at Carina. I can't fix that.
Yeah,
Give me
that's
a
not
perception
supposed to
check.
happen.
Using my correct perception modifier, I will get a 22.
You notice on Carina's wrist is a black key.
That's really not good.
You notice on Qundle's wrist is a black key.
Let's not look at our wrists.
Yeah, it's on all four of your wrists.
I think
And
it may
we're
have been
still
cursed.
hanging around your neck on a fine silver chain is a pallid white bone key. And that is where I'm ending today's session. I want to thank you all for watching the Oblivion Oath Part 2. Tune in next week, Thursday at noon, here at twitch.tv/official Paizo for the next chapter in this story. We'll see you then.
Bye, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.